check this out, y'all. This CEO boy, Scott Mills, dumped BET Hip Hop Awards, dumped BET Soul Train Awards, just to replace it with the Caribbean Awards.
A few months ago, we found out that 2 of the award shows were going to be canceled on BET. Number 1 was the Soul Train Awards, and number 2 was the BET Hip Hop Awards. And the person that brought us that news was the CEO of BET himself, Scott Mills. Now, both of these were suspended indefinitely. He did leave the opportunity that these 2 shows may come back in the future, but they have not so far. And one of the reasons why the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards were canceled in the first place is because both of these award shows were out of touch. And so if you're out of touch, it means you're losing ground to other shows. And to be honest, Black American Hip Hop Awards or Hip Hop Awards globally are very competitive. There's many different music award shows around the world. And so if you're not coming with a particular investment or sponsorship, or if you're not activating in a way that the sponsors deem necessary, meaning that you're losing viewership, then what happens is over time, you're going to lose sponsorship for those shows. And if you lose sponsorship for those shows, then you can't really reinvest in the property, which is the BET Awards or the Soul Train Awards. However, what is going to replace the Soul Train Awards or the BET Awards? The Caribbean Music Awards, right? Now, the Caribbean Music Awards will be happening on September 12th, and it will be on BET. But not everybody is happy about it.
This will be the first year that BET will be introducing the Caribbean Awards. The same year they dumped the Hip Hop Awards, same year they dumped the Soul Train Awards. Now, the Soul Train Awards is like a core of Black American culture. Those awards been going on since the 1987, since the 80s. Right? Come on. Don Cornelius, all the Soul Train Awards is like foundation of Black American culture, especially on BET, right? So they dump hip hop and they dump Soul Train Awards just to bring us the Caribbean Awards. What is going on? I checked this man to see what culture, what's his heritage, what's his ethnicity, and you can't find it nowhere. So I'm just going to assume this guy is Caribbean. Because if you from New York City, you know what I'm saying? If they say you was born and raised in New York City, yeah, you Caribbean or African. Because why would you want to hide your heritage? Why would you not want to reveal your identity, right? So this is what they doing. You know what I'm saying? They're including everybody Black but Black American culture.
All right, that's my boy Donnie on Timeout from TikTok. I love his content, and he's concerned about what's been going on, especially after what happened with the whole Essence Festival. Donnie Timeout is saying, listen, the Soul Train Awards are a part of Black American culture. It's been there since the 80s, at least the awards has. I mean, Soul Train's been on probably before then, 60s and 70s. And then the Hip Hop Awards, integral to Black American music history, but they're being replaced by the Caribbean Music Awards. At a certain point in his statement, he started to talk about Scott Mills, and he's questioning his true identity. Is the reason why Scott Mills is canceling these shows, does it have anything to do with the fact that he's Caribbean? Is that why? And again, I can understand why somebody would think that way, because again, the Essence Festival, which is owned by a Liberian, is now catering to the diaspora, the Caribbean and the African diaspora. And now you have this, where the Caribbean Awards is replacing the Hip Hop Awards. Now we gotta think about this, guys, as business people. Scott Mills is a CEO. His job is to grow the brand. His job is to grow BET. If he doesn't grow BET, he's fired, okay? One of the ways that BET can differentiate themselves is to bring in a new audience. The Black American audience would be capped, okay? I'm just talking as a normal business person would. Don't take this personal. You have 40 to 50 million people, but you want to, if possible, get more viewership than your core audience. What is the way to do it? The Caribbean Music Awards. Now, he does say Caribbeans have a lot of stuff now. They have their own reggae festivals, they have all of that stuff, parades and carnivals and all that, right? I get that. But the Caribbean Music Awards, we talk about things like dancehall, it's technically still underserved. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. I've been living in Africa, coming to Africa at least, going on a decade now. When I got here, I thought that hip hop would be the king. And hip hop is more popular in Kenya than it is in Uganda, definitely more in South Africa than here in Uganda. But I was surprised to see, outside of Amapiano and outside of Afrobeat, the biggest genre that I see is dancehall. Caribbean culture, I would argue, in East Africa is more, or it is stronger than hip hop. I won't say it's stronger than all of black culture because it's not. Black culture remains supreme even amongst Africans on the continent. But dancehall is a popular genre. You have dancehall artists in Africa, okay? You have Afro dancehall. You have guys here on the continent that talk like Jamaicans in their music. It's a whole thing, okay? And so what happens is when you're BET, you're looking at tapping into their audience. So when you bring the Caribbean Music Awards on, you're not only getting the Caribbean people, you're getting people who are fans of Caribbean music everywhere, whether they are whites, obviously if they're African, in any Anglophone or English speaking country, all right? So you're growing a whole new audience, a whole new sponsorship that you can pitch to, a whole new deck of people you can do business with. That's the reality, okay? Now, here's the problem I'm gonna tell you guys, and it's gonna come off harsh. You can get mad all you want. We can get mad all you want at Essence Festival or what they're doing with BET and not putting the culture in and doing what they want. You have to own the culture to have leverage. If Black Americans as a community can't make people cover ground, the arguments that we have with these things, and I like Donnie on Timeout. He's not wrong, right? He's trying to protect this culture. But if this show is not making money, it's not gonna matter about the culture. Nobody is gonna say, you know what, I gotta watch the Soul Train Awards because it's a part of our culture. People are gonna look at it and say, is it worth watching? I don't wanna watch it. It's the same thing with black business. Do you go to a black restaurant because you wanna support black business? Or do you wanna go to a black restaurant because it's good? Now, once a black business is good, it helps that it's black. But if it's not competitive, then you're not gonna support it. You will go to anybody else that has the service or the products that you need for a remarkable price or same price or cheaper price that fits your needs. That's how everybody is around the world. So number one, blacks are gonna be having to become more competitive. And I'm gonna tell you this out of love. People are tired of black complaints. I'm just gonna be honest with you, all over the world. That includes Black Americans, it definitely includes Africans, it includes Caribbeans. Nobody wants to hear us complain about what we're not getting anymore, because the reason why they don't want to hear that is because you got too many opportunities to own your own stuff. This is what you have as a black person living in America, the biggest economy, black business economy on planet Earth. You are the richest group of people in the black world by far. Nobody wants to hear you complain about why you don't get this and that. I'm just sorry, okay? People are not sympathetic to that. People don't look at the fact that you have your own institutions, you got your own churches, you have your own colleges. So why are you complaining about what's going on with Essence Festival? Why are you complaining about what's going on with BET Awards? And if that's the case, why did you sell it? And if somebody sold it, why didn't you buy it? So then Essence got sold to Time, it got sold to the Africans. So then you are more than the Africans. So how does somebody from Liberia, Reshalou, if I'm not mistaken, how did he buy something from your community and it's not even 1 million Liberians in America? People gonna look at that and they're gonna look at you like you don't make no damn sense. Why are you complaining about something that you can do yourself? How does this guy come into your community and buy something from you and now you're mad about it? The same thing about the Soul Train Awards and the BET Hip Hop Awards. Why is your award show not competing with the rest of the world such that it gets left behind? Those are personal problems. And at a certain point, we gotta start being mature about our conversations as blacks. I get what he's saying. I get what people in the Essence Festival is saying, but you don't have no leverage if you don't own it. You cannot make anybody cover ground. You can complain to Essence Festival all you want. There's too many Africans there. The only thing that you can start to do is not go there anymore, right? Unless you own what you have, you can't design something to support your own people. So if you don't have a BET because your community sold it, it's hard for you to complain about why the programming isn't for you. Because one of the reasons why it's sold is because it wasn't making enough money when it was for you. That's how business people think, okay? A lot of black shows and black networks tried to serve the community and went under. TV One was one of them. So if you're not one of the reasons why black business is growing, and I'm talking about everybody as a community, then we gotta be careful of what we're saying, because business people are gonna go look at where is the growth. And right now, okay, in the black community is also growth for business. But I'm gonna tell you, people gonna look towards where the numbers are at. If you're an English speaking person, you're gonna go to where you're the most English speaking people, the black diaspora, so the black American community, yes, that's one. You can go to Caribbeans, you can go to Nigerians, you can go to Ghanaians, you can go to Sierra Leoneans, you can go to South Africans. I mean, just like a tour person, Chris Brown sold out in South Africa. People gonna go where the money is, all right? How to diversify my audience, how to diversify my money. And we can't get mad because people are doing that. Every business works like that. I'm gonna give you an example. In the early 2000s, iPhone came out. iPhone was only with one carrier. Those of you who remember who was the carrier? AT&T. AT&T had an exclusive agreement with Apple. Now, if you can remember at that time, Verizon Wireless was the number one carrier in the country. The problem is that people love the iPhone. So you could love Verizon service, but the iPhone was just on AT&T. So if you wanted the iPhone, you couldn't even get on Verizon, right? AT&T had crappy service outside, the calls are dropping, all kind of stuff. Enter in 2009, 2010. Apple braced its exclusivity agreement. People at AT&T are upset about this, but it was only in America because obviously in other parts of the world, Apple was on major carriers. What happened? iPhone went to Sprint, iPhone went to T-Mobile, and now I believe you can even put it unlocked, right? I know that for sure. And even you can get it on Metro PCS. So iPhone was like, look, we gotta let more people compete for what we at, because it's better for us. And that's what BET is trying to do. They're trying to grow, all right? They're trying to grow the brand. And this is a white space opportunity for them. Saying, hey, if we get the Caribbean Music Awards on BET with our infrastructure, they're gonna bring an audience that we can't bring. And black people gotta stop being mad about that and just own that. It's different if you own BET, then you put the Caribbeans on. Let me give you an example. Bob Johnson, who owned Ebony, passed away. Had he known about what Nigeria would be today, had he known about what Sierra Leone would be today, had he known about how big Uganda and Kenya would be today, and Rwanda would be today, he would have easily, listen to what I'm saying, he would have easily expanded Ebony into Nigeria. He would have easily expanded Ebony into Ghana. And then all he would have did was he would have just owned the platform that was going on. He didn't do that. So what happened was people kept eating into his market share. Essence came out, Jet came out. Then now Ebony, he stayed, like I said, in the community, he couldn't diversify. But worldwide, he would have still been a player. Ebony could have been a worldwide player at that time, had they done that. The same thing that Playboy did. Playboy went all across the white world and won, all right? So we gotta understand that this is not personal, it's business. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junker. I appreciate you before you do, subscribe to the bell. We out.